Coming up next on Hooten's Arkansas football, highlights from the second week of the high school season, including a monster matchup in MORRILTON between the Devil Dogs and pass-happy PULASKI Academy. Defending state champion Little Rock Central playing host to Pine Bluff, and Oak Grove sensation Darren McFadden and the Hornets had high-flying Atkins. Highlights of those games and more. Plus, we'll take you to Sheridan to meet the Marine Scholar Athlete of the Week and update Hooten's top 25 rankings for every classification. Hooten's Arkansas football is next.
Now, Arkansas's most watched sports show, Hooten's Arkansas football.
Hello and welcome to Hooten's Arkansas football, the second week of the high school season. Highlights coming up here in the next half hour on Hooten's Arkansas football. Not a lot of big games around the state, just the second week of the season. So no real monster matchups, but some good games, and we have highlights of a bunch of them. We'll begin with schools in Class 5A, and our Class 5A highlights are brought to you by First Security Bancorp. And we'll begin our show with defending Class 5A state champion Little Rock Central playing host at Pine Bluff. Pine Bluff trying to find a groove on offense early, going to the bag of tricks. Adrian Moore, though, throws the half-pack pass. Central safety Kevin Thornton, he's a good one. He's got the pick, and it was scoreless in the second quarter when zebra punter Addison Dunn can't handle the snap, and he is dropped inside the 5-yard line. On the next play, that's Mickey Dean around the corner for a touchdown. Central's up 7-0 just before half. In the third quarter, it's Clark Irwin scooting in for a short touchdown run. That puts Central up 14-0, and a few plays later, it's another long run, and Central hasn't been tested this season. Final score, Tigers 35, Pine Bluff 0. Conway Wampus Cats playing host to Russellville. The Hootens had Cyclones ranked number 4 to start the year, and Russellville was getting it done Friday night with some D. Sean Oates causes Brandon Solberg to fumble. Conway recovers but still has to punt, and it's blocked. Colt Wright in the right place, picking up the ball and getting some good field position for Russellville. Later in the second quarter, Eli Craner will go up top to Lawson Hips, wide open in the back of the end zone. Russellville 7, Conway zip. Hey, Conway's going to try the forward pass. They don't have a lot of experience doing that. It's picked off, and Russellville is headed the other way. This time it'll be Craner hooking up with Lamonte Payne for a touchdown. Russellville was up 14-0 in the second quarter. It was 21-0 at the half, and the Cyclones are 2-0 with an improved defense and still a potent offense. Final score, Cyclones 21, winless Conway 7. Mills won its opener last week for the first time in more than a decade. The Comets looking for a 2-0 start at 5A East defending champ Cabot. Mills running back Caleb Knight running tough to set up the field goal attempt, but Cabot blocks it, and Brad French scoops and scores. He'll go all the way, and that set the tone for this one. The Panthers stay unbeaten and set up a showdown of 2-0 teams next week against Central. Final score, Cabot 21, Mills 0. Little Rock Catholic beat Sylvan Hills 3-0 in a defensive struggle last year, so Sylvan Hills was looking for some revenge Friday night. It was tied up at 7 in the third quarter when Jerome Hart takes it 11 yards for the score, and Sylvan Hills was up 14-7, and the Bears are now 2-0 after moving back up to Class 5A. Final score, Sylvan Hills 21, Little Rock Catholic 7. The North Little Rock Charging Wildcats charged up after last week's dominating win over Jacksonville. Maybe too charged up as Fair's Brendan Metcalf fights for the early touchdown, and the War Eagles were up 6-0 on North Little Rock. The sophomore quarterback Shea Petterman filling in for Josh Dixon. He gets the first touchdown of his career, and North Little Rock tied it up at 6 before pulling away in the second half. Final score, Charging Wildcats 23, Fair 16. Jacksonville had beaten crosstown rival North Pulaski by an average of 44-3 the past 4 years. Friday night, the Red Devils looking to pad that stat as Terod Hatcher breaks free for the touchdown run, but this play would come back wiped out because of a penalty, but it wouldn't matter. Jacksonville would continue to dominate the rest of the night and continue their domination over the Falcons. Final score, Red Devils 36, North Pulaski 0. There are two good teams in Class 5A, that is clear, Little Rock Central and Springdale. After that, we're unsure. Russellville is 2-0, the Cyclones with a couple of good victories. then CABOT's number 4, and North Little Rock 5. A lot of mediocrity in Class 5A, it appears, this year. Jonesboro starts the second 5, followed by Texarkana, Rogers, Lake Hamilton, and Fort Smith Southside. Fort Smith Northside is likely headed for 3-0, but the Grizzlies' non-conference schedule has been easier than past seasons. Bryant is also undefeated. There's Fayetteville dropping all the way to 13 after losing to Class 4A ALMA on Friday. West Memphis lost to Class 3A Osceola. Then it's El Dorado, undefeated Sylvan Hills. Van Buren and McClellan. Pine Bluff is winless. Bentonville's number 20. Then it's the Benton Panthers, Conway, Camden Fairview, SEARCY, and Mountain Home with one of the top quarterbacks in Class 5A.
Now, the United States Marines Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Meet Sheridan High's Tyler Bone. He's a 3-sport athlete with a 4.0 GPA. He's definitely got it going on.
He's going to be one of our leaders of our, of our society one of these days. He's a super smart young man and really going to do well whatever he chooses to do in life.
Tyler plays quarterback for the Yellow Jackets. It's a position of leadership, one he cherishes.
I enjoy leading my team out, and I enjoy the leadership role, being able to have people look up to you and to have people respect you.
Congratulations to Tyler Bone, the Marine Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Congratulations to Tyler Bone from Sheridan, our Marine Scholar Athlete of the Week. Next week, the Yellow Jackets play their home opener against Whitehall. Coming up next, more of Hooten's Arkansas football. Class 4A highlights are straight ahead.
All brought to you by Sonic.
And we begin our Class 4A highlights at SEARCY with defending state champion Batesville trying to get revenge for its only blemish last year. A 23-23 tie against SEARCY. But the Lions made it tough in the first quarter. Quarterback Chris Bryant hooking up with Josh Hudgens for a 17-yard pickup. Then Bryant bullets a 20-yarder to Matt Kremlitz for a first down. And a few plays later, look at Bryant doing it himself and dishes out some punishment on the dive. SEARCY was up 7-0. But Batesville's stingy defense held tough the rest of the night, and the offense finally found a rhythm. Batesville hasn't lost in 16 games. Final score, Coach Dave King's Pioneers 24, SEARCY 14. Pulaski Robinson has lost only once in its past 14 games, and the Senators trying to take care of Class 3A Dollarway Friday night, but Dollarway goes up 6-0 as Jonathan Moore hits Kendrick Brown for a 26-yard touchdown. Senators would march right back though as Clayton Ford finds Josh Delamar on a screen pass. That's a 45-yard game when it's all said and done. A little bit later, Robinson would cap the drive with a short touchdown and a 2-point conversion to go up 12-8. But Dollarway would try to come back right before the half. Moore hits Jeremy Davis, and look at the tip drill effort by Davis. We'll watch that again. Jeremy Davis, great catch, but it wasn't enough as Robinson wins for the 14th time in the last 15 games. Final score, Senators 28, Dollarway 8. At Vilonia, running back Josh McIntyre and quarterback Nick Cowger were taking it easy, having a good time Friday night. McIntyre had scored 5 touchdowns in the first half, helping the Eagles to a 36-0 lead on Hot Springs Lakeside. But the Rams would avoid the shutout. Sophomore quarterback Zach Hall finds classmate Brad Boren for the touchdown. Class 4A's top-ranked team rolls in Week 2. Vilonia takes on BB next week. Final score, Eagles 36, Hot Springs Lakeside 7.
Playing Vilonia football, we've been working for 2 weeks now to try to perfect everything, and the team came together good tonight.
And here's a look at Hooten's Arkansas football Class 4A rankings. Vilonia stays on top after a dominating win over Hot Springs Lakeside Friday night. Robinson's number 2 and Batesville 3. Alma may have been the most impressive Class 4A team Friday night with a 7-point win at Fayetteville. Morrilton shoots into the top 5, the Devil Dogs with a big win over Pulaski Academy. Then it's Wynn and Greenwood. The Bulldogs lost a heartbreaker 10-7 against Poto, Oklahoma. West Helena is 2-0 and in the top 10 for the first time in more than 5 years. Then it's Harrison and Stuttgart. Blytheville starts the second 10, followed by Carlson and Oak Grove. If Darren McFadden stays healthy, the Hornets might be the team to beat in the 4A Southeast. Whitehall's number 14, then it's Lakeside, Siloam Springs, and Marion leaps up 10 spots after a solid win over Newport. Monticello is up 8 spots after almost beating Warren. Then it's Paragould, Magnolia, Mills. Hope is 0-2. The Bobcats need some help on offense. BB is number 23, followed by Greenbrier and Malvern. The Leopards couldn't move the ball at all on Friday night against Lake Hamilton.
Now, the ConocoPhillips Spirit Student of the Week.
Crystal Griffin is a sophomore sensation at Atkins High, cheering for the Red Devils in the fall, playing on the school's basketball team in the winter and softball in the spring, while maintaining a 3.75 GPA.
I've always just done my homework.
And away from school, well, Crystal is a national champion in archery.
You have to practice to be good at anything, and you really have to practice a lot to be good at this.
Nominations for the ConocoPhillips Spirit Student of the Week are welcomed and can be made by logging on to Hootens.com or by stopping in ConocoPhillips stations of Arkansas.
Coming up next, more of Hooten's Arkansas football. Class 3A highlights are next.
More of Hooten's Arkansas football, brought to you by State Farm.
This is the type of game that we play high school football for right here. You're going to have a big crowd. You got a 4A school coming in here, one of the best backs around, a good football team all the way around, and that's what we want to play. So let's go out, leave nothing on this field, play as hard as you can, and let's give this bunch everything we got. That's all we can ever ask out of you, is to give it all you got on every single play. And let's do it tonight. Let's go get a break.
Coach Charlie Sarles and the Atkins Red Devils getting ready for high-powered Pulaski Oak Grove Friday night. The Hornets from Class 4A in the River Valley, but it was Atkins that would strike first. Jonathan Cathy gets to the corner, and he's gone. 56 yards on the Red Devils' third play of the game. The sophomore scored 3 times for Atkins Friday night. That put the Red Devils up early. Now, this ain't no Oak Grove practice video. These are Hornet game highlights only on Hooten's Arkansas football. Junior halfback James Mitchell getting loose on Oak Grove's first possession. But the rest of the drive and the rest of the night belonged to Razorback recruit Darren McFadden. He rushed for 246 yards and 4 touchdowns. Check this out. 5 Red Devils have a shot at number 5, but McFadden was a man among boys. 29 yards for the touchdown, and Oak Grove looks like a contender. Final score, Pulaski Oak Grove 50, Atkins 26. Big crowd on Mustang Mountain last night for Central Arkansas Christian against Marietta. But after last week's heartbreaker against Vilonia, CAC looked flat in the first half, only up by a touchdown before quarterback Jesse Gates could get the Mustangs going in the third quarter. Nathan Moore gets CAC in Marietta territory. Then watch Marietta's Marcus Brown sniffing out CAC's screen pass, but the Trojans had little to celebrate and trouble all night, stopping CAC the rest of the way. Gates on the same drive finds Michael Shattuck for another nice pickup right in front of Hooten's camera, and seconds later, Gates runs right through Marietta's arm tackles and into the end zone. CAC ranks number 2 in the state, rolls. Final score, Mustangs 35, Marietta 20. Morrilton and Pulaski Academy both played well, but lost their season openers during Modern Woodmen of America Hootens.com Kickoff Classic Week. Friday night, the Bruins and Devil Dogs would meet in Morrilton, and the game was tied at 8 late in the first quarter. That's when Morrilton's sophomore playmakers take over. Quarterback Kyle Russell rolls and finds Jermel Brown for a 15-yard touchdown. Pulaski Academy would respond. Sophomore quarterback Stephen Lux rolls and finds senior Aaron Langford, and the Bruins are in Morrilton territory. But on the next play, the Devil Dogs, Jeffrey Zern puts his hat on the ball, and sophomore Jermel Thompson is headed the other way. 60 yards with the scoop and score for the Devil Dogs. Morrilton's speedy defense pitched a shutout the rest of the way. And after 2 weeks, Morrilton looks like a playoff team in Class 4A's toughest league. Final score, Devil Dogs 36, PA 8. Updated Class 3A rankings brought to you by the Army National Guard, and Warren stays on top. The Lumberjacks have been impressive in their first 2 wins over Class 4A opponents by a combined 21 points. CAC stays at number 2, followed by Boonville and Rivercrest. The Colts won their opener by 6 points Friday night at Pocahontas. Then it's Ashdown and Atkins. Nashville is 2-0 under first-year head coach Chris Wood. Star City's number 8, and Ozark is number 9. The Hillbillies haven't allowed a point this season. Prairie Grove has won its first 2 games by a combined 5 points. PA starts at second 10, and there's Osceola after an impressive win over West Memphis. Newport's 13, then it's Dollarway and Pokey. Prescott's number 16. The Curly Wolves actually jumped to a 7-0 lead against Springdale before losing 44-13. There's Clarksville and Shallow Christian. The Saints rebounded in a big way over Little Rock Christian. Hoxie has won its first 2 games, and McGee is off to a 2-0 start for the second time in 3 seasons. There's Lone Oak and Fordyce. The Redbugs almost beat Class 5A Camden Fairview Friday night. Dover is number 23 after a big win at Greenbrier, followed by Bauxite and Gosnell.
More of Hooten's Arkansas football, brought to you by Big Red Fina.
Guys, it's time right now. No messing around, no waiting around. We got to come out fired up. Last year, the same team. All right, 4th quarter, 6-0. That's not going to happen this year. You guys are going to come out and dominate the game from the very kickoff. All right, both sides of the ball. Hit somebody hard every time.
Coach Brian Rust reminding his Hector Wildcats about last season's scare against Little Rock Lutheran. But last night, Hector looked focused early and was scoring early and often. Long, tall Chris Miranda right up the middle. His 6'4" frame gets going, and Lutheran can't catch him. Hector was up 6-0. And the Wildcat D was tough as well, upending Drew McGilvray and Lutheran all night, holding the Lions to just 84 yards of offense. Moments later, Hector's Corey Small, the quick toss to Cade Watson. Hector was up 13-0 early and would never look back as the Wildcats improved their record to 1-1 on the season. Final score, Hector Wildcats 35, Lutheran 0. Arkansas Baptist ranks number 25 in Class 2A, taking on the Bigelow Panthers last night at the Ranch in West Little Rock. Both teams looking for their first win, and Baptist was up 19-0 at halftime. Bigelow coach Jeff Starks trying to rally the Panthers, and Bigelow's defender Chris Fulton knocks away this pass by Baptist, but on the next play, it's Baptist's senior quarterback Rhett Hatcher looking the same direction, and this time he zips it through there, and it's a touchdown to Brack Waters. That put Baptist up 25-0. And the Eagles would roll to their first win of the season. Final score, Arkansas Baptist 25, Bigelow 6. Little Rock Episcopal facing former coach John Seward Friday night when Carlisle came to town. The visiting Bison were already up 13-8 when TJ Powell breaks free 55 yards, and that put the Carlisle Bison up 21-8. And the Bison D was holding tough all night as well, as Episcopal struggled to move the ball through the air, and Carlisle is 2-0 and ready to be considered as a contender in the revamped 4AA conference. Final score, Carlisle 56, Episcopal 8. Rising stays atop the AA poll with an easy win over Harmony Grove. Rising's opening win over Fordyce looks even more impressive. Think about it. Fordyce hung with Class 5A Camden Fairview Friday night. 7 days earlier, Rising had beaten Fordyce by 3 touchdowns. The next 4 teams in the top 5 stayed the same: Junction, Harding, Barton, and Charleston. EPC starts the second 5, followed by Mountainburg. The Dragons took down Class 3A Elkins 37-28 Friday night. There's Dirks, Greenwood, and Gurdon. The Go Devils bounced back from an opening loss to arch rival Prescott to beat 7 AAA Lafayette County 14-13 Friday night. Jessieville put 63 points on Ola, and there's a capital O in Ola, but no D. Carlisle, Palestine-Wheatley, Hector, and Bearden were all victorious Friday night. Hughes jumps up 10 spots after pulling off a 2-point road win at Cross County. The Thunderbirds are 0-2 after opening the season at number 6 in Hooten's rankings. Spring Hill hammered Hampton 40-7 Friday night. Perryville is undefeated and might be challenged next week at Arkansas Baptist. Lavaca sticks at number 21. Mount Ida topped Danville 20-18 Friday night in a key 5AA game. And Eudora enters the top 25 after a convincing victory at Mineral Springs.
Now, more of Hooten's Arkansas football, brought to you by State Farm.
Pulaski Oak Grove running back Darren McFadden is off to a phenomenal start this season, totaling more than 400 yards so far, with terrific runs like this one at Atkins. McFadden uses 3 stiff arms, breaks 1 ankle tackle, and blows up a defender at the goal line to score. Darren McFadden with by far the best run we've seen the first 2 weeks of the season, and it's our State Farm Play of the Week. Coming up in December at the State Farm Awards, we'll be naming the Play of the Year, as well as an Offensive and Defensive Player of the Year for all 4 classifications, and a Coach of the Year for every classification. That's at the State Farm Awards, honoring Arkansas's top coaches and players, presented by Hooten's Arkansas Football.